RIOC has a variety of facilities that public uses. Sports park, Good Shepherd, and now that's been almost completely refurbished as Cultural Center, which is 7 spaces. RIOC has the intent of making the space widely used and really seeing that the community utilization is maximized if at all possible. And it also needs to make the space available on a fair and consistent basis amongst the various groups that will be inclined to use it. We've been suffering with just the 3 spaces in Good Shepherd for some time now. We'll have those 3 spaces, 7 spaces here, some of which will have restrictions in their own qualities that have to be observed. You can't. There's a limit to what you can have in the dance studio, for example. And if we're able to get Blackwell House done someday, there could be 2 more spaces there. So that's quite a number of spaces. Over the last few weeks, I believe we have also been reaching out to find out what various groups might be looking for in terms of space. Erica, you might have heard some things about this, I'm wondering.
Yes, absolutely.
And also, Donna, you might have too.
Right.
So if you could just tell us what the current process is and what the results of reaching out have been. Yes. And one thing to preface all this with, we're discussing this now to try to reach an eventual goal. We expect these terms to evolve over time as we discover what the usage really is. Sports park is a very useful space, but people find it very far away. It's a free red bus ride away or walk. And the sports park has its own issues. It needs a very, very substantial amount of work to be refurbished, roof work, wall work, interior work, new boiler, to say. So, the budget is $5, $6 million for sports park. So, it would be available to the extent possible. And we will try to do what we can to make these spaces, these rooms, usable to the community. So with that, and the idea that we're evolving with this.
Let me make sort of an opening statement. There's very many challenges that we have faced with the Cultural Center. The original use was very limited. You are a growing community. There are new groups coming in, and all of these groups must be treated in a fair and equitable manner. That is not to say that we are putting the old groups aside and saying that there's no place for them either. So we have to come to some area. There are also other issues involved with the Cultural Center and also community groups that have been here many years and provided a great service to the community. However, this is a brave new world. Public authorities, public benefit corporations have been under great scrutiny. You all know that. You've all lived through it in a variety of ways as to what was investigated, what was not investigated. The fact of the matter is that I don't believe anybody was doing anything wrong before, but they weren't doing it right, and they weren't being overseen in a particular manner. So now we have to live with whatever we have in front of us, and there are procurement issues, there are fairness issues, which that I agree with completely, and the least of it being is making money for RIOC. Because in truth, RIOC, when we spend money, we spend it on the community. We spend it on capital projects. And areas like this, there's not a lot of money in this. Whether you have $10 more or $5 more, doesn't matter. You do have a fiduciary duty to upkeep your areas. We would remember this is a basement. There's nothing, I mean, it is beautiful, and I think it's very nice, but it's a basement. It leaks. And it leaks, and it's going to leak. Because the pipes underneath on this building are old, and they haven't been replaced. And that's the reality of the other thing. The other thing is a basement. No matter how many sump pumps you put, no matter how much waterproofing you do, no matter how much you work to make this floodproof, it's not. It's just not. Hopefully we can minimize the damage. What we want to do is not even to break even, but not to have this, take a lot of money from other areas away. We believe that if people have a vested interest, a monetary interest in it, they'll take care of it better. We've had a lot of problems, not that it wasn't taken care of before, but it wasn't in really good shape either before. Everybody did the best that they could. But now that we're opening up to many groups, you have a lot of groups that you don't know who is using it, who's not using it, etc. So I would like to dispel that issue about making money on this. And regardless of whether we make money or not, which we really don't, it goes back into the maintenance of this building, and this building is high maintenance. So I'm going to turn it over to Erica. I have a staff that has worked very, very diligently. We may not have gotten it completely right, and we are open to many, many suggestions. However, we've done the best we can, and we're going to do this for this year, and we'll move along, and if we have a better suggestion, if something works better, you change it. The only thing that we're all interested in, and I'm sure you're all interested, that everybody gets treated fairly, and everybody gets to use this when they want. Erica?